Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. About 8 minutes till the start of the small start of the Silverado 2024. The weather is absolutely magnificent. If you're going to go sailing around Funen, this is the time and the day to do it. Vid, from Beneteau First Seascape, thanks a lot for coming.
No problem. It's a pleasure to be here again.
You've been a loyal supporter of the Silverado way back.
Yeah, this is the 8th time for me. So yeah, it's always fun to come back and to enjoy the end of summer here. So
it's brilliant. And I mean, and when you come here, you don't just come on your own. I mean, you guys come up here in your van and you have your own tent. I was going to say teepee, and a whole congregation of boats. How many boats with an SE with a Seascape represented?
It's 35, yeah, and Beneteau in general 50. So
amazing. Is that pretty good?
Yeah, I'm quite proud. Each year we add 2 or 3 more, and it's growing, which is a rare sight in these days.
Oh, it really is. Yeah, it really is. I mean, let's look at some of the boats on the starting line here, preparing, and then we'll talk us through some of the boats. I mean, you've got what's that boat ahead of us just there? Look. Can you see it? You can actually see it over there. That's the
the Deller. You mean? Yeah, those are going to be fast as hell. It's going to be going up north. So this is where our boats perform, but there's a lot of other modern hulls around as well. So we'll see. I don't know. Jure doesn't promise a lot of these tactical areas, except really. On the way north. And of course, the little battle will be the mixer-upper.
The little battle is always the shaker. Yeah. That's where the race is shook. Now the green Dealer 30 OD that we had in the camera right in front of us there is Kasper Widdersø, who in fact is the chairman of the Helsingør Sailing Club. Now the signal you can hear is the 6 minutes, which means 6 minutes for until the start of the small category, which is boats between 25 and 30 feet. Kasper's a very experienced sailor and a sailmaker and a ship designer. He's going to be competing against your boats. When I say your boats, I obviously mean the 27s.
27 SEs, yeah.
Well, let's talk about them. There are 20 of those here, aren't there?
Yeah, we have 18 solo sailors registered. We are really proud of them, coming from 5 different countries. So it's Denmark, of course, is well represented this year. Sweden, Germany, Austria, Slovenia, and Czech Republic. So these are really at the top level of amateur sailing. For what I have seen in the last years, they really grew into their boats. They sail a lot. They sail a lot of different races.
That was the 5-minute signal we just heard. Sorry for interrupting you.
Problem.
That was the 5-minute signal. And let's talk about this boat in front of us here. Do you know who that is? That's one of the 27s.
Yeah, if I see correctly.
120, yeah.
This should be. I don't recognize the sailor directly.
That's Reto.
Reto.
Reto Huber. Talk about Reto. He's been with you forever and ever.
Exactly. He usually sails on a lake on Bodensee, German lake at the south of Bavaria. And yeah, he had the boat for like 10 plus years now and raced on pretty much all of our events, and has been coming to Silverado for the last 3 years, I think, constantly. He's a really tough cookie. And
he doesn't look like it, does he?
No,
he's a little skinny guy. I'm not allowed to say that, but he's smaller than I am.
Yeah,
and even slimmer.
But it will surprise you how
he's
fast
tough.
he
I've been surprised every year.
Yeah, exactly.
And this guy, this is just in front of us here. The camera is Patrick Heinrich. And he's been very close to winning several years. He's changed boat to a bigger boat. He's the guy that has donated the rookie prize for the fastest first rookie to win in the mini class. And let's go back. Let's talk about this red boat here. This red Beneteau First 27
really
Seascape.
Like this is Uroš Kraševac, my favorite in this race. This is the guy that sailed the Mini Transat last year and ended up finishing 5th in a pretty old boat against much newer ones. So he was awarded also the Rookie of the of that race. So he crossed the
Atlantic. He's a tough
Atlantic.
guy, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's a tough guy.
Yeah.
He crossed the Atlantic in a Mini, right?
In a Mini.
So we're talking, for those of you who don't know what a Mini is, that's a 6.5 meter boat. One man.
The smallest ocean racing class.
Amazing.
So yeah, I known him for years now, and he became one of my best friends, and I'm always rooting for him. And he came back here because he has some unfinished business. He finished second in the European Championship 2 years ago.
Okay, so he has a mission.
Yeah, he's on a mission, and but it's going to be tough.
It's going to be a tough race. It really
There's
is.
like 5 or 6 other sailors here that will give him the run for his money. So
a lot of the boats that are here, a lot of the people participating in this European Championships. I mean, like Milan Tomic, he won last year, didn't he?
Exactly.
He's definitely a contender. You've got Peter Edman, and Peter Edman may be 60 plus, I believe. I hope I'm not. But I mean, I raced against him and his brother in the Express like 30 years ago, and they were winning back then as well. And they haven't sat in the sofa over the last 30 years. They've raced and raced and raced.
Yeah.
Peter comes here every year.
He actually won the first European Championship in the Benetton
he did
first.
In fact. And unfortunately, we had a cancellation from Marlene Brudek. So if you're out there, Marlene, our thoughts go out to you. We were really hoping to see you again here this year. You are really one of the... Yeah, you're really missed. You are really one of these silver rudderans, regardless of your gender. You are the toughest woman sailor on the course every year. Our love and our thoughts go out to you. I know you're just too busy. You've been racing too much this year, but come back soon. Now, there's a 1.5 minutes to the start. Now, we've got a camera on the starting line. Check out this guy in the green boat. This is Kasper Vedersø, just cruising around the starting line. Yeah, I'm not sure why. He looks like he's just dropped his head sail. Yeah, with the current going with him. He's just going to continue around and set his head sail as he comes round.
Yeah, hopefully he makes it behind the starting line.
Look, we've got a really good drone shot of the starting line. This is the first year we've had that. So you can actually see between the 2 yellow marks there. Kasper's definitely got to come a bit further to starboard, not to cross the line. We've got 1 minute to the start. 1 minute to the start. Now, some of the boats really have to turn around and come back the other way. Just like Yura said, he said the start of the small is going to be a lot more aggressive than the start of the minis that are a little bit more conservative. Now you're going to have a few very aggressive boats. Here we go. We're back on the drone picture here. We've got 35 seconds to go before the start goes. And you can see, looking on the right here, there's a huge flock of boats just coming up.
Yeah, it's heating up now, really. So,
yeah. What do you think of again the red boats, the potential start area there? Is it a good place to be?
Yeah, Uroš is really known for timing his starts really well. So he's on the windward side, so just waiting for the opportunity to gun it.
Now let's look at some of the boats with the biggest, the highest masts. And I'm saying, the 30 ODs in this class. This is the Norwegian guy. Can you see him? Gunning it out, 30048, start number 70.
Yeah, he's picking up.
Didn't get the best start, but he's got a potentially very good speed. And I mean, some of the boats that have started best have actually quite surprised us a bit. You've got Spiff, which is Jesper Stig Andersen, the bird and dolphin man, as we call him locally. He's got a really good start. It's the X79 is like a 40-year-old construction, still way out there at the front of the fleet.
Yeah, but the similar spirit with the one design and that's what we are doing here. So
completely. I just think we can still gather, 10 or 12 79s on the water.
Exactly.
40 years after it was built.
Yeah, because you can compare to similar boats, actually, same boats, and
that's the way to go.
Exactly.
You've got Franz Schollmeier there, down the line. It is huge, beautiful Corsa. Yeah. You've got the Blue 30 with Torsten. Yeah, Franz, don't kid yourself. I mean, he's a bit like Hirohito. Except that he's plus 65. An amazingly good sailor. He can just go on hour after hour after hour and doesn't seem to fatigue. He's promised his wife 5 years ago that he'd stop racing. He's doing a great job. And looking down the fleet, I mean, it's like 2 minutes, a minute and a half since the race started, and probably about a third of the fleet, including some of the absolutely fastest boats, Dela 30 ODs and a couple of 27s, haven't even crossed the line yet.
Yeah, but you can't really win the race on the start, but you can definitely lose it. So being conservative sometimes is better and faster in the end if you know how to position yourself well later on.
Oh, you're absolutely right. I mean, look at the boats that have started further down to leadward. They've had to tack out. The boats that started to windward, they can go on one close haul all the way out of the sound
and bear away.
And the boats you can see on the drone picture, the boats that have started further down, they'd have to start tacking now. There you go. Thank you. Let's leave it on the drone there for a minute. You can see the boats have to tack, which means they're sailing a lot further distance, and they're having to pass astern of other boats. You see, it's getting quite gusty out there. I would say, how much wind do you think there is out there at the moment?
Yeah, it's gusting above 10 definitely. So yeah, the narrow channel and all the trees around make this a tricky area to sail. So you have no wind, and then a gust comes and lays you down, and so you have to be on the main sheet all the time. And
which is really, really characteristic of the Svendborg Sound. Most peaceful, pretty-looking little sound in the world, but
sailors don't like it.
Gusty and shoals. Sailors like it if they know the place.
Yeah.
And this is really the place where you win and lose races. I'd like you to move over to the red boat just behind us there, Mads. Can you see there's a red boat there? We'll just get our camera to that in a minute. The red boat there is Anna in her Marieholm IF30. And if you're ready, Flemming, perhaps you can go out and talk to Johan on the boat. We've got Johan and Petra, Annette and Katrina on the boat. We'll do a bit of live streams free from them. Johan.
Yes, Philip, I hear you fine.
Talk us through your positions. Where are you? Talk us through the boats that are next to you. How they're getting on.
So right now we are to the windward of the boats as they're slacking a little bit on the sheets. We saw a lot of them hiking quite aggressively. The Dealer OD in the picture, if we go down to the Dealer OD here, it looks quite comfortable right now. It looks like what we could call champagne sailing, doesn't it? It looks
fantastic.
It looks great. I'm quite jealous actually to not be there.
I don't blame you.
They got on. They got on very well, and as you predicted on land, it was quite an aggressive start for some of them. I was actually afraid that some of them was going to be over the line at some time.
Is that not your impression? Is it not your impression that any of the boats were across the line before the start?
To be honest, I didn't have the greatest view. We were a little bit down, so I'm sure the drone view was better. But I was especially a little bit afraid of Casper in the green Dino. I thought he was very close to being passed. I don't know how it looks from your chair.
It looks absolutely amazing. Like you, I'm dead jealous that I'm standing here talking to you instead of sailing.
Yeah,
Johan?
Even though it's really nice to talk to you, it's easy to get jealous.
It's cool. It's almost as good as being in the race. Johan, it's fantastic to see you right at the front of the fleet. Can you go film slightly to the right so we can see what it looks like from the front of the fleet? Look at the boats behind you. There you go.
So I'm just going to steer Petra a little bit here. We're going to steer down the fleet, Petra.
There you go.
There you go. Look at that view.
So you guys are at the front with the first 5 or 6 boats?
Yeah, we're with the first 5 or 6. We see the dealers, we also see a lot of momentum coming up. Quite strong, getting a good start here. Especially the red one here, looking very, very nice.
He says the red one's looking very, very nice.
Yeah, it brings a smile to my face that, yeah, like I said, he knows how to time his starts and then go for it.
Let's follow
and he knows where to place his boat. Yeah, so he's staying to windward so he can bear away and have totally unspoiled wind as he leaves the sound in a second.
So it's not covered by the others.
That's right, and he's not being covered by other boats. Sail up alongside this guy. Now you're not allowed to disturb him too much. You can say hi to Urus.
I told him hi.
That's great. Tell him he's at the lead of the 27s and it looks cool. And tell him that Vid
says hello.
You've got Vid standing next to him and he sends his love.
Vid is standing next to you and he sends his love. So it looks really nice for this guy to be here. It's, you know, in the mini start we saw that the wind was going down a little bit some places here between Tuber and Tosingen. So it's great to have the free wind and the opportunity to bear away a little bit if it drops too much wind.
It
But
certainly
right
looks.
now it just looks absolutely amazing here.
It certainly looks like the fleet has been able to bear away a little bit, and is increasing speed as they come down the sound.
Yes, for sure, and that's very nice because in the previous start we saw a couple of things struggling in the beginning.
Johan, we need the microphone or the camera a little bit closer to your mouth.
Okay. So
Perfect.
in the first start we saw some of
much
the
better.
minis struggling a little bit. We saw some of the minis struggling a little bit in the beginning, but when they got to bear off, it looked much better, and it looked, like I said, as champagne sailing as they were going down.
I mean, that what you're filming now looks absolutely fantastic. It doesn't look like there's much wind, but I'm guessing that those boats are going at about 7 or 8 knots, 7 knots perhaps. Wouldn't you say? I mean, remember they got about 1.5 knots, 2 knots of currents going with them.
I would say so, because they have the current going with them. We're going quite fast out of the sound right now, that's for sure. It must be really great for them. And also just, I think 7 knots is accurate. We're moving away from the starting line at quite a speed.
So, Johan, if you just turn the boat around and go down through the fleet, that would be nice to see some of the boats down right at the front. The 27 that we just saw was Kåre Gibsholm Madsen, who, which is a Danish boat. So he'll be in, I don't know about home waters, but he'll be, the smell of the water will be the same as it is in his home waters. Okay.
Maybe
Lovely.
That's going to give him some advantage. We're going to go down through the fleet and send you some nice photos.
Thanks a lot. And in the meantime, we're just going to go back to the picture of the boat. Yeah, and thanks. Let's look at this drone picture.
Yeah, what a shot.
This is the drone picture of the fleet as it leaves Svendborg Sound. So basically, this is the view that Vid and I have from the starting line down there from above. Absolutely fantastic picture, isn't it? Look at that. That's absolutely incredible. So if we add the minis to the smalls, there's 122 boats out there that you can see. And that's the view coming back to the start. Johan, as I've got you anyway, and I can hear you, I'd like you to move the camera much closer to your mouth. Let's talk to this guy here, Jesper Stig.
Yeah, we're going to talk to Jesper. He's
got a seagull on his boat.
Things to say. Yeah, he does.
With the duck.
He's got a. What's he got with a seagull on his? Why is he carrying a seagull on his boat?
Yeah, so as you said, Jesper is the
Someone to talk to
dolphin
or to
and
play.
birdman.
Oh, can you imagine putting a seagull on your boat? He wrote a nice interesting thing on Facebook a couple of days ago. He said he has like a friend who's a seagull. You can see in the picture there. And he was saying, I wonder...
So, I don't know if you can hear me, but Jesper, he's quite upset because we scared Maggie away, and he said that was his lucky pigeon. So he's quite upset at the moment. I hope the pigeon's going to come back.
Well, if not...
Undskyld, Jesper.
He said...
Jesper, he's quite happy, as you know. He's a local guy. He's one of two, I think, that's actually participating for Svendborg Amateur Cycle. And he said that he's holding the line quite nice because all the bigger boats have much too big drafts. They're not too keen on going to windward of him, so he's quite happy about his position at the moment.
Amazing. Imagine carrying a seagull around Funen racing. You've got to be a local hero to do that. Johan, I quite often find it very difficult to hear you, so which means the speakers can't just make sure that you have your microphone, the camera right up close to your mouth, please. It's very windy there. Perfect.
Yeah, I'm trying to hold it as
That's
close
great.
as I possibly
Fantastic.
can, but there's a lot of wind out here.
It is quite gusty. We appreciate that. Brilliant.
Did you,
Great pictures of Jesper.
Did you hear what I said about his position? That he was
He said that he was very pleased to be. He said he's very pleased to be so close to windward because he had a very low draft, which meant that he had an advantage of the other boats. Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, but if we look down behind him now, Casper is coming in his
Daler 30, and in front of him was in fact and in front of him was in fact a Pete Edman in the Beneteau First 27 SE, which he participated in the Europeans, as is the Danish guy Core in his 122. Let's just move down to the fleet.
Jan is coming here in the Beast. A crucial point for him of the race. Must have a little bit of trauma from last year, don't you think?
I think he's decided to have a much more conservative start. Jan in his Aliolis 30 has a really fast boat, and he's a really, really good sailor. He's very, very, very calm and comfortable, and he knows what he's doing. And he's definitely makes sense for him to do what he's doing this year. Not try and win the race in the first 30 seconds, but go for the long run and win the race over a period of time. Now you can see how much faster he's going. Even though he's going through the lee of the Albin Express or the Albin there, he's still going faster than the Dilla 30 ahead of him. So if he just bears away a bit, gets some free air, I reckon that's Jan's way of winning this race, or at least doing very well this year. Nice to see him within the boys. The current's going with us, stay in the deep water. Great shots there, Johan, that's really nice. Say hi to Jan from us, but don't disturb him too much so he loses concentration.
Yeah, I just said a quick hi to him, but as you said, I don't want to disturb him too much. He's quite focused.
Of course he's focused, yeah, good for him. Great sailor, great guy. Jan is, incidentally, he's the Jan's most responsible for doing the race guide, along with Henrik Jørgensen from Xbox. So the Beast is the boat that we're following now, and it really does look like a beast, the boat. It's absolutely beautiful. It heels over quite easily, doesn't it, Vid?
Yeah, but as far as I understand, this boat was made especially for this race, or with this race or similar in his mind. So, yeah, it'll be fun to follow him around. And, he's definitely a contender for the line honors.
Yeah, so he's definitely contender. But I mean, it's a fast boat, isn't it? I mean, you can see the boat is extremely fast. And like I said, it has a huge advantage compared to a lot of the boats. And once that boat gets a little bit of slack on its sheets going along the east coast of Funen, it's going to go like a bat out of hell.
Yeah, when they lift up out of the water, so going into planning mode, that's where the fun begins. And that's modern boats should be capable of doing, and that's our mantra. And it's good to see that other builders are going the same way. I
mean, I can't wait to see the Beneteau First 27 SE fleet, 18 boats, once they leave the Sound, past Tour Reef as we call it, and bear away and have what we call, probably it's going to be a broad reach, maybe set an A3 Jenica or a Code Zero, and reach up all the way along the east coast.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a must-have Jenica for most of the, especially the guys that are really keen on winning this race. So it will be on the limit of that sail, but I know for sure that they are going to push it.
You think they'll set a masthead and not go for a fractional Jenica?
Yeah, for what I talked to them, they all said, yeah, I'm going to be pushing it. Maybe I'll pay for it, but yeah, since Jure predicted 15-16 knots at the max, this should still be capable. It's just how much concentration can you keep on the tiller, and yeah, it's going to be fun. I think they're going to have a really nice sail under the big bridge.
Race. It's going to be a fantastic race. The first 8 to 10 hours of this race, as you reach up, I mean, that's going to be just like it was when I participated 2 years ago with a Code Zero, doing 7.5, 8 to 8.5 knots all the way up along the east coast, and your boats can go much faster than that when they start planing.
Yeah, when they lift up, that's their sweet spot, and we really love that feeling, and wouldn't replace it for anything else.
Incredible.
But yeah, in the evening, then the real start works, and the real challenge to push through the night.
Yeah, let's do that. We're just going to move our camera to Bea and Marianne, who are on the harbour in Svendborg. And let's just talk to them about the non-chaos, how effectively they've managed to unpack the harbour this morning. Hi, Bea.
Oh, it was.
I'm sorry we've neglected you for a minute. How's it been in there?
No,
I mean,
no problem.
The
it
harbour
has
looks
been
almost half
actually-
empty.
Yeah, here what I just show you is the. Oh, am I on the right?
No, we're good. We're good. You're online. It's perfect, Ben.
We are good. So I have the multi-hulls here, still a little bit calm and focused. This is what I would say is the main feeling: focused, prepare, and the clogged boats as well. Everything else is already.
So I can see
empty.
most of the medium boats have left. They're starting in just
Yeah.
30 minutes time. But the large boats, have they started to leave the harbour as well?
Yes, they have started to leave the harbour. Do you have the proper picture for this?
No, it's fine.
Or
It's
is
fine.
it-
Yeah, it's good.
Okay.
It's good. Yeah, it's good.
The medium boats left the harbour as well. It became quite tight on the entry line. I have to say, I was thinking, whether there will be a small collision even. And we also have a bit of sad news because Annabelle Turling, when she started to leave the harbour, her engine went out twice.
Oh,
So
no.
now she's back at berth, and it looks as if she was not able to start.
Oh, we're sorry to hear that.
unfortunately.
That's a real shame. It's always terrible to get all the way here and then not actually manage to actually start the race. You know, using so much energy and effort and getting yourself mentally and the boat prepared and stuff. I'd like to move the camera back to the starting line, please. I'd like to talk about this next start here. Now, the next start here is the medium start. We're talking boats between 30 and 35. Now, Vid, the new Beneteau first 36 SE.
Yeah.
30. Well,
Yeah.
actually, there's the 36. I'd rather talk about that still.
Okay.
She was here 1 year.
Yeah.
She was in the large class.
Yeah.
Is the 30 that you're building going to be below 30, just like the Dealer 30 ODs?
Yeah, it should fall into the small class. Yeah. It's not going to be in the large class, but yeah, the 36 would fit in here.
So let's talk about the new 30 that's built, or is it being built?
It's being built.
So when is the first 30 going to be floating on the market and available for customers to buy?
In Düsseldorf, on the main European boat show, you will be able
At the
to see it.
Boot 25?
Exactly,
Right,
yeah. But we plan to have the first boat in the water by December or something like that, just to have some real pictures and videos of it to show, as well as the boat itself.
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
Do you think that you could manage to get one of those things up here by next September?
That's definitely a plan. This is.
Who's going to be sitting at the helm, do you think?
I don't know. Probably a new owner. There's quite a lot of interest that was also shown here, especially between the 27 SE owners that would like to upgrade to something a little bit more cruising oriented, but still planning. So this is the new category that we try to establish, that it's planning cruising. So
I can't wait to see it. That's going to be really, really exciting. It's going to be brilliant. Vid, I'd like to thank you very much for coming. It's been a pleasure having you here.
no problem. Always a pleasure.
It's a huge pleasure having the whole Seascape community coming here every year. Thanks very much to Beneteau first for lending us Yuri. We had so much positive response. That was an absolutely amazing weather forecast compared to what we had in the past. The other guys have done an amazing job, but you can really tell that Yuri is a diehard sailor racer. So he did exactly what the guys wanted. And thanks to you, thanks for your kind contribution to the volunteers here.
No
the
problem.
stay in Slovenia at a 4-star hotel. I wish it was me that had won. So thanks for coming.
You're always invited.
I would love to come.
Give
I'm
me a
gonna
ring.
take you up on it. Thank you. Thanks very much for coming.
Thanks for having me.